Hello. Well, in this tutorial we're gonna do this stitch. It's a very easy stitch, 2 rows repeat. Even for you guys, the beginners, this stitch will be very easy. It's nice to make a, I don't know, a shawl, a cardigan, a blanket, a scarf. The stitch is reversible, front and back, so if you like you can give it a try to this stitch. It's very easy. Well, what is not going to be easy, the second row is not going to be easy because we don't have much material to grab on, so it's going to be a little bit you know, well, difficult. Not so much, but still. Okay, with this stitch we're going to chain multiples of 4 plus 3 more. So I have my multiples of 4 here, and I'm gonna chain 3 more. Okay, and now what we're gonna do, we're gonna skip the first chain here, and we're gonna go into the second chain, and we're gonna do a single crochet. So with this row, this is the one of the rows that you're gonna repeat. So in each stitch, in each chain, we're gonna do single crochet. So move to the next chain and do a single crochet, and we're gonna do single crochet in each chain. So move to the next chain and so on, single crochet. It's very nice, especially if you have soft yarn. Do this stitch with soft yarn unless you want something rigid and sturdy, because this stitch might tend to be a little bit well, kind of rigid. So if you use a soft yarn, there's so many, even acrylics with very soft. So single crochet in each stitch. So this is one of the rows that you're gonna repeat for this stitch, and the next row that we're gonna do. So the last chain is here, we're gonna do single crochet. Then if you want to chain one, you can chain one here at the end, you can chain one, but I'm gonna turn my work, and where the yarn is coming out here, I'm gonna go in there, pick up the loop, then do a single crochet, and in this line here we're gonna go behind that line, pull up a loop, and do again a single crochet, just to have the height. So now we're gonna skip the next stitch, and in the next stitch, yarn over the hook, we're gonna do a double crochet, yarn over the hook, and move to the next stitch. So in the next 2 stitches we're gonna place double crochet. So move to the next stitch, double crochet, yarn over the hook, next stitch, double crochet. So you should have 3 double crochet in 3 stitches. Yeah, and now we're gonna have to go back to the stitch that we skipped in the beginning here, this one. So yarn over the hook. That's why I said the first row it's a little bit difficult, because you don't have much material to have a good grip on. So you go back into the stitch that you skipped in the beginning, you pull up a loop, and make sure that you pull this loop high enough, otherwise the work is gonna be like this, like an accordion. So now you're gonna pull through the first 2 loops, you're gonna do a double crochet, and then pull the yarn to the next 2 loops. And again we're gonna skip the next stitch, and in the next 3 stitches we're gonna place in there double crochet. So yarn over the hook, skip the next stitch, and in the next stitch do a double crochet, yarn over the hook, move to the next stitch, double crochet, move to the next stitch, double crochet. So you should do in sets of 3. So now we're gonna go back into the stitch that we skipped, this one here. So yarn over the hook, we're gonna go back into that stitch that you skipped, pull up a loop, and make sure that it's high enough, and do a double crochet. You have 3 loops here. Yeah, so pull the yarn to the first 2 loops, and then yarn over and pull the yarn to the last 2. So yarn over the hook again. We're gonna repeat like this until the end of the row. Skip the next stitch. I hope it's close enough for you guys. So skip the next stitch, and in the next 3 stitches, in each stitch we're gonna place double crochet. Skip, and in the next double crochet. It's a very easy stitch, this one. Move to the next stitch, double crochet, yarn over the hook, move to the next stitch and do a double crochet. And now we're gonna go back into the stitch that we skipped, this one here. Yeah. So yarn over the hook, and you go into that stitch that you skipped. Yeah, the first row it's a little bit, but after that it goes easy. So you pull this, make sure that it's, and then do a double crochet. So you're gonna be left with, you're gonna skip 1, and in the next you're gonna do, in the next 3 stitches, yeah. So skip 1, and in the next do a double crochet, yarn over the hook, move to the next stitch, double crochet. So we're gonna do the same. So yarn over the hook, move to the next stitch, double crochet, and now we're gonna go back into the stitch that we skipped here. So yarn over the hook, and we're gonna go back into that stitch that we skipped. You come from behind, pull up a loop, make sure that it's high enough, then do a double crochet, and you're gonna be left with 1 stitch at the end here. So yarn over the hook, we're gonna go into the last stitch and we're gonna do a double crochet. You're always gonna finish this row with double crochet at the end in the last stitch. So now we're gonna chain 1, and now we're gonna repeat the first row that we did, in each stitch single crochet. So the first stitch is here, we're gonna go in there and we're gonna do a single crochet, and in each stitch we're gonna do single crochet. So move to the next stitch, single crochet, and so on. Next stitch, single crochet, and this one too. Yeah, I think for a blanket, if you have thick yarn, I think this is nice to use this stitch, or a baby blanket if you like. Even a shawl, but if you choose to use, well, it depends now. Some of you might like to work with thin yarn, so you can do a shawl for spring or summer, or a baby blanket if you like. So in each stitch, single crochet, the last stitch here, single crochet. Yeah. So this is it for the row. So you now depends, if you want to chain 1 at the end, you can chain 1, but I'm just gonna turn my work, and from where the yarn is coming, right here, coming out, I'm gonna go in there, pick up a loop, do a single crochet, and then in this line here, that line, you're gonna go behind that, pull up a loop, and then do a single crochet. And now you're gonna skip the next stitch, and in the next stitch, yarn over the hook, you're gonna, in the next 3 stitches, you're gonna do double crochet. Move to the next stitch, double crochet, move to the next stitch, double crochet, and now after you do this, you're gonna have to go back into the stitch that you skipped here. So yarn over the hook, and we're gonna go back into the, now it's a little bit better, you have some material to grab on. So you go into that stitch, pull up a loop, pull high enough, and then do a double crochet. And again, you're gonna skip the next stitch, and in the next 3 you're gonna do double crochet. Skip 1 stitch, and in the next 3 stitches you're gonna do double crochets. Next stitch, double crochet. So now we're going to go back into the stitch that we skipped, this one here. You go in there, pull up a loop, and then do a double crochet. So again, yarn over the hook, we're going to skip the next stitch, and in the next 3 we're going to do double crochets. So 1, 2 and 3, and now we're going to go back into the stitch that we skipped right here. Yeah, it's not so difficult. Might look complicated, but it's very easy. So again, yarn over the hook, we're going to skip the next stitch, and in the next 3 stitches we're going to place double crochets, and in the last one here we're going to do a double crochet. So skip the next stitch, and in the next stitch do double crochet, yarn over the hook, move to the next stitch, double crochet, the next stitch, double crochet, and now you have to go back into the stitch that you skipped, this one. You pull up a loop, then do a double crochet, and in the last stitch here, yarn over the hook, you're gonna do a double crochet, chain 1, and now you're gonna repeat the row with a single crochet. So this is it. And after you finish the row with a single crochet, you either chain 1 or you do the way I do it, and then you're gonna start with skipping the first stitch, and then in the next 3 you're gonna do double crochet. So this is the stitch. It's really nice, and especially if you like I said, if you have a soft yarn for a blanket, will be really cozy, really nice. Let me put this at, yep. So if you like, give it a try, you might enjoy it. Okay, thank you for watching. Bye bye.